Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Who is here today? Come on, chat. It's quiet. I know there is... I don't know if it's still going on. Quite possibly is still going on. But we have had there is an ongoing trading room going on in the Discord right now. So that may be why we have a few latecomers to the party. As I am sure that I'm on Zoom. Yeah. So yeah, Cake's doing his trading room at the moment. I would imagine, Cake, you're short right now because I am too. I'm short. Let's have a look at the charts. Let's go on to the charts. This is on the NASDAQ, by the way. So made some bank shorting. Hey, just open my PC. Shit busy. Cool. Yeah, welcome everybody. Yeah, I'm in a short position on the NQ, and I'm actually in a long position on Bitcoin and Ethereum again from this morning. It's the same trade that was from last night that hit take profit one, and then got into trade again this morning, added to that one. So yes, we'll start off and just do a little bit of housekeeping, checking in on everybody. We're getting a little bit of a bounce here, which is what I was expecting. NQ is going to be a weird one today. Once again, I'm sure you know this, or those of you who are in the trading room, I'm sure you know this, but it is contract change day today. So that means that we are moving into the September contract. However, it's going to take a few days for the September contract to actually get any volume and open interest. So probably still best to trade the M contract for now. But there's going to be discrepancies. Look at this. There's just gaps and shit everywhere on the U contract, on the new contract. But on the M, it's a lot cleaner. So if anyone's trading NASDAQ today, just stick with the M contract probably until Monday. And then switch over. But it's messy. The chart's going to be real messy for the next few days, which is annoying. It's always a pain in the ass to trade these contract changeover days because you don't quite know what level you want to be marking and whatever. So what's going on? Bitcoin's just moving down as well with the NQ. ETH holding up okay here. Let's have a look at the chat, and then I'm going to do my usual video thing. So I'll probably sit down in a minute, but stood up still for now because you need to. I was sat down for too long yesterday. Who do we have in the house? Say hello if you're here. Kalechi Agucha, welcome. Jim, welcome. AZTV, welcome. Kemray, welcome. Whimsy Pro Trades, g'day. Cakezilla, welcome. Elliot Patterson, welcome. Lucifer, Incestus. YouTube nicely bugging out. Got Eric Crown's video description on this live stream. Have we really? Nice. Hopefully, unfortunately, we don't have that number of viewers either. I mean, if all of his viewers could come over here, that would be fantastic. So if anyone's here from the YouTube bugging out that's from Eric Crown's YouTube channel, I mean, it would be nice. That guy's got what, over 100k subscribers, and I'm here on 20k. So yeah. Sean Daly, welcome. Elliot Patterson, welcome. Fantastic morning session from Cake, I'm sure it was. Currently researching PPI and prepping for New York, nice. Floki edits, what's the Sigma? Hello from Ireland, great TA, thank you. What do you think about FPS coin? I do not know, and maybe I'll get to that later, maybe I won't. Never heard of it, don't know what it is. But every time I get a comment like that, I'm like, maybe I should check this. I don't know what it is, but I might have a look at it later. Should we just have a quick look? FPS coin. Is it this? USDT, is there such thing? No idea. This Web3 war? Absolute pile of crap. If this is the one that it is, let's get off of that chart. I don't even want that chart on my screen. Get away from this. Let's go for something a little bit nicer. But that might not be the right thingy. I might just sit for a moment. Sit down and do the updates. Let's see if there's anything that I've got to sort out on my end before I do the YouTube thing. No, you know what? I'm just going to keep on standing. More energy! This way. I can move around and I can do this. I can do this. AZTV, I huddled my short from 70.6 short 2 Bitcoins. Okay. First thought, previous day low. Yeah. Oh, so that is, yeah, down here. I mean, I'm okay with where this is right now. Like, we're moving down a little bit because of the NQ. So I'm in a trade right now on the NASDAQ. Here's the trade. So that's what I'm in, short from here. So we'll see how that goes. I've taken profit on it once already. I got into it a little bit early, and then I added to it. And then I've got my stop here. And then I'm running it down. But yeah, nicely in profit this morning. TP1, waiting for TP2. Ideally, I want to see it like dump properly, like down here somewhere. Come down here. Would be nice, right? It's where we got our open and then we like had a bit of an impulse up afterwards. And then there's all this weirdness going on. So that'd be cool. So this is a trade I'm in on Bitcoin. I'm gonna, yeah, okay. Right. Let me set my chart. I'm doing like the prep that I would usually do before I record my update video, like live in front of everyone. So it's a little bit weird. So I guess we go on to the higher time frames to begin with. And we'll have a look at that. But I really want... let me try and group some stuff together. Not keeping my groups. I'm really not keeping my groups nicely laid out right now. Hide all of those. That's better. That's a bit cleaner. Where's this brush? I can go. I can stay. That can go. That'll do. Clean. Ish. AZTV, are you the do you mean famous Ondo guy? What's that? Go to channel. Has this guy got like a... Or what? Shield Ondo at the very low. Wow. Why weren't you shilling that to me, or were you? Was I just ignoring you? Ah! Very low. Where? What? So 6th of February 2024. I'm going to look at this. We'll get into Bitcoin stuff in a minute. My ear's blocked up. Ugh. Ondo. So Ondo really has probably bought you a condo, right? As the meme goes. Woo! I mean, it's, yeah, nice. Nice. You did share it to me at 50 cents. I mean, I did get into Ondo quite early. I can't remember exactly where it was. I'm not holding it. It was a trade. I don't have like spot Ondo. But yeah, really, really good. Nice chart. I think Ondo is pretty bullish anyway in general. Ondo looks good. Total 3 practically bottomed for this cycle. Sick of this price action. I mean, it's quite nice to trade from a Bitcoin and Ethereum perspective, but awesome at 1386. Awesome. Right. I think it's about time I do some work and get a little video underway to discuss where we are in the market. Yeah, whatever. This will do. Where's my record button? I'm not on it this morning at all. Yesterday was such a busy day. I'm not on it at all today. I'll get into the flow of things in a minute. But here we go. Wait, what's the date? For fuck's sake. Okay, it's Thursday the 13th. Breathe. Hello traders, welcome to today's Bitcoin update. It is Thursday the 13th of June 2024 and this is your, well, I've just said it was your Bitcoin update, so let's get started. A very, very choppy day yesterday, which was expected. We did have CPI yesterday, we did have FOMC yesterday, and of course, what happened is we just had the move up immediately as that CPI news came out. Then we had the FOMC and then news, WooX, always, as always, acting as magnets for price action. So we had the big move up and it was immediately retraced. But we're holding around that same support area, around that monthly open that we were holding on Tuesday. We've come back in, we've tested the previous day open. So at the moment, everything's still looking relatively okay here. But when you do have news events that are just, a bit inorganic of price action, it is very likely that we see these BART things pay out and we could very easily get another one today because we do have another news wick that could be taken today. So looking on the daily time frame here, we can see we're just consolidating around that point of control of the entire range again. We did have that move up towards value area high. We couldn't get that breakout above it. That's what gave us the good short opportunities to take price down to this area. Now, actually, when you zoom out, it really isn't that bad at all. So if you split this range into two, and we're looking from our low down here, and we take it up to this first high. We bounced from the midpoint of this range, and you can kind of split this range up into two halves. We had that accumulation down here. Is this a distribution, or are we looking at this as being strength, and then we're going to get a breakout higher? What I would like to see from this range is, because we have still some empty space above, although we also have some empty space below, I am at this stage still anticipating that we do get a move up that tests the all-time high, even if that gives us a bigger drop afterwards. So that still, for me, is my main plan. And I'm not really going to change that unless we start like really closing candles below the anchored VWAP from this low, and also monthly open, those kind of areas, and we come back down below this midpoint of the channel. If there is to be a move down there, I am looking for 64 to 62k. It's going to be like realistically around here, right? So you've got 64, you got 62, somewhere in the middle, you would expect some kind of capitulation again. We do have a high volume node down there, and there is a gap on the chart down there. There is an order block down there. There are untested high time frame levels. Look on the weekly, we haven't tested that level. Look on the monthly. Okay, what we have done previously is we had put in a nice green bullish candle, next month retrace the whole thing, next month retrace the whole thing, and then we're into another month where we could retrace the whole thing, and we just continue and continue and continue until we finally get a clean break of this range, which doesn't look like it's going to be happening, well, yet. There could be some more time to come. It is summer, generally fairly quiet for the markets, and this is pretty typical of post-halving price action. The last time we had the halving, it was like an 80-day range that got put in after that before we started to move up. So far, we're on like well, we're getting close to that, actually, to be honest. It's not far off 80 days. That we've had this range. So if we look at the beginning, we're up to, well, we're at 107 days, but we did have the halving in the middle of that, of course. And what I was talking about, that 80 range was like post halving before we started to get some real movement afterwards. So yeah, overall, just very, very just choppy, range bound, boring price action if you're looking for trades to hold, but if you're day trading, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. There have been some good trades to talk about. So if we go down onto the lower time frames, I'm going to skip through this. We know we're just holding monthly open. Let's just add on this group of drawings here, which then takes us down onto the, I mean, realistically, like very low time frames, because there have been a few trades to be looking at. So we had the dip, and I think for swing trades, that was a good opportunity to compound. We were testing back into that anchored VWAP again from our lows. So you go all the way back down to these lows. There's your anchored VWAP. There was the test, right? And that has so far held. And it also took out our lows from back in May, back at the end of May. And we had a decent move up yesterday on CPI. Now, 30-minute candle here on CPI. So this is a little bit all over the place because let's put it on the 5-minute time frame. And you can see this clearer. This was news yesterday, and it was just complete one-sided price action that just went poof and just launched price up back to weekly open and to take out what was yesterday the previous day high. We also had the previous day point of control there, so we add our TPO onto the chart. No, we won't, not yet. I'll show that in a minute. Yeah, took out previous day high, came into a POC, and just a bit of a distribution after that. We then had FOMC. Now, FOMC had a spike down initially. It tried to break up, and we did put in this tiny little wick because initially it was just straight down, and then we put in a high. So that did complete the auction here, and it couldn't get that continuation to break higher. And then we just saw a bit of a bleed out. And what naturally will happen after that, this here acting as a magnet. Okay, one-sided price action, incomplete auction, and acting as that magnet, which is why I drew a magnet there for price to come down and test back into that. And then we bounced off of what yesterday was the daily open. Now, I did take a long off of this yesterday. I did update the crew for that long. It was late at night, but I hadn't actually had much opportunity to trade yesterday. So it was nice to be able to get into these trades. So I also shared these on Twitter, on X, sorry. And yeah, these were the trades that I took. So basically saying, let's zoom in. Caught this quite nicely on perps, then had the confidence to double up on a funded account, try and break out prop firm for the first time. So I thought I'd try a little like funded account yesterday as well. Their dashboard's really bad, by the way, but whatever. We'll see how it goes from here, but that's TP1 in the bag. So that was when we came up and took a high. I'll show that on the charts. Haven't had much chance to trade, so it was quite nice to get that. So this is essentially the trade that I was looking at. We had a nice drop down into that daily open yesterday. We then had a bounce. We had that inversion, but I got in a little bit earlier than that. And then we got that TP1 over here. Now, after that, it just kind of bled out. You had Asia, and it went a bit higher than this. I think it took out this high as well. And we'll just have a look on the chart. But then it started bleeding, and we ended up coming all the way back down again. But then it was a similar situation. I also took the same trade on Ethereum, which was a similar situation. Okay, so we came up, got that TP1. and then it started to fall apart. But we had decent confluence on there after it took out those CPI lows. It was the point of control of the day, and it was the 702 retrace, which is a fib level that I like. I was hoping that we would see the CPI wick, because that got immediately filled. I was like, all right, let's go for the FOMC. I still think that that's a good target, which is why I'm still looking at some longs today. Because I do anticipate those FOMC highs to possibly go, although we don't have an incomplete auction there. It did wick up after the first move down and just balance that price action. However, I still think because it is a news event, we have that as still a target for, today, or yeah, possibly today, because there is PPI. There is more news to come today. So news takes out news, which takes out news, which takes out news, and then so on. So yeah, this showing the chart. We got the move down, move into the daily open. I managed to enter here, and then I was anticipating that we would get a decent bounce. So I just kind of FOMO'd into another long position, got TP1 on both of them. And then, yeah, we had that daily open from over here, where we had the move down, take out some lows, liquidity at the lows, move up towards the highs, take out the highs, so spike lows, spike highs, and then it was just a case of VWAP riding price down after that, and we're still contained below that. So there was your VWAP, you had the move down, the move up, and then once you've lost that VWAP, then you test into it lower, test into it lower, test into it lower, and once again here testing into it, and it is still acting as resistance. We're still floating down with the VWAP. That is still resistance for now. However, we are at decent support. So maybe we do get this little bounce underway, where I think if you are long from around here, from that monthly open, from that previous day open, or even from when it was the other day when we had this low, it's all the same trade. We're taking the trades off the same levels. So if you're long from over here, I think you can still target higher. If you're long from yesterday, I think you can still target higher. If you're long for today, I still think you can target higher. And it is still acting as support, so I still think it could continue to act as support, as long as it does act as support. But it's trading, so it could go up, it could go down, it could go sideways. We know that. So yeah. Now, targets for today, if this does start to float up, daily open, clearly. Okay, that's going to be some local resistance. And then if it can go higher, then this is the top of the FOMC news. So are we looking at maybe something around about that PPI data where we could once again see volatility? So we had CPI was big move up, FOMC was big move down. Do we get PPI? Big move up again? I think it's very much dependent on the data that we see. And yeah, of course, this will only really be the reason for the big move up yesterday was because CPI came in a lot lower than expected. So it was showing that inflation was down or lower than expected month on month and year on year. So unless we see something similar with the PPI read being lower than expected, I don't think we're going to see another like massive push to the upside. However, we're likely to see some volatility, and we'll see what that brings. Now, if we are looking at downside, right, Delirium did mention this in the chat, but it doesn't matter because I'm recording this as a video, so forget that. But there is previous day low. So although I'm in this long position and there is a stop down here, it's a little bit uncomfortable because that stop is a previous day low, right? And that, of course, could give us a move back down to test back in towards these lows. Of course, on yesterday's video, we were looking at these lows down here, and that would set up for another potential trade. So whereas we're looking at a trade here that does have an invalidation, I would want to give this some room, or if it does look like we're going to start rolling over, I will get out of this trade early and then can target maybe another long from here. But at the moment, I still think maybe because I'm looking at shorts on the NASDAQ, maybe there could be a little bit more downside to come. However, this is still a target. So I want to get into longs to target those FOMC highs. It's just finding the right opportunities to do that because it is very, 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 very choppy. Anything else on the chart here? So if we look at the order flow and stuff that's over here, and we'll load this up, then liquidations are mainly above. We're in 24-hour. This would suggest to us that we're getting some shorts entering, mainly above. Yeah, so we're looking okay with the potential liquidations. The algos here that calculate all of this stuff are telling us that there's more shorts opening, and then we can confirm that by looking at what's going on with the CVD. Is what are we seeing? We are seeing spot looking better than perps. So we had the CPI news yesterday. That was it was anticipated that it would be a move up, and we did get that move up. Now what we're seeing with these two drops, it has been just perps getting like shaken out. Again, we're not seeing divergences forming here, but spot is ahead of where perpetuals are, suggesting that there are more short positions, or at least more of a shakeout going on with perpetuals, and that the appetite for bidding into these lows is still there from Coinbase, from spot markets. So that's looking relatively healthy. We go on to this chart. I need to reload again. I haven't done all of this stuff because I didn't do the prep before because I'm very silly. But yeah, it has been a decent shakeout in open interest that we've seen. So because we had the open interest rising a lot, volatility just helpful in this situation. We haven't really moved anywhere from a price perspective, right? We haven't really gone anywhere. But this is what I always say, is that any fast move, any like really, really quick move, which we had two of them yesterday, and we're probably going to get another one today, that will cause a drop off in open interest. So fast moves are good if you've got high open OI. That doesn't mean that we've got to like dump forever. You've just got to keep going and just keep chopping people up, chopping people up, and that will naturally bring the open interest down because people chase, people FOMO, people get caught out, people get stopped, all of this kind of thing. Fast moves reduce open interest more often than not, because you're doing all of that kind of thing. So we have had that. That's been pretty decent. Nice cool off in the open interest here. So maybe we do start to see this. If we get floaty price action that comes back up, you would naturally expect this open interest to rise back up with it. So yeah, spot premium. We can have a look at that. That's still there, and it's actually getting more now. So with that spot premium, it does also mean that we will have some negative funding rates. So if we look on the funding rates, we can see that we're neutral to negative, and that is there. And let's just have a look at the ETFs, because we always just have a little look at the ETFs. There was inflows again yesterday. So I think that suggesting, even though we had a big like up down kind of day, and we didn't close bearish, okay, because we closed above where that open was, but we did retrace the entire move up. There is still appetite here from the ETFs, and that is kind of similar to what we're seeing from the spot markets. So it's neutral. Long story short, 16-minute video, it's neutral today. Could go up, could go down. Thanks. I know that's kind of useless, but that is trading. Could go up, could go down. If it does go up, we know FOMC targets are there. Daily open is there if we want to go for something smaller. And there's plenty of imbalance above that we can start trading back into. If it does go down, okay, sweep of previous day lows looks likely. Sweep of these internal lows that we had on Wednesday is also there as a possibility. I just don't want to see us coming back down here again. So that would start to be a bit scary. And yeah, you just don't want to see it. We don't want to see it again. I know I know trading is not supposed to be easy, but it would make things difficult if we do come back down towards those lows from this kind of perspective, because then it just brings these much lower targets into play. And if that happens, forget like any longs that have been built around here. That's going to be carnage, especially for the altcoins. So we don't really want to see this lost, because it will be a quick move down and it will be another capitulation, and they're just a little bit stressful. So it might happen. We'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, as long as we're holding this support for now, then I think we can be targeting longs from these internal levels and from around about the price that we are right now. So thank you very much for watching that. Have a great day. And I'm going to get back to the little stream that I'm doing. So cheers. Bye-bye. There we go. Might sit down for a bit. Yeah. 18 minutes of up, down. Who knows what is going to happen? But I mean, that's kind of how I feel today. So I can't pretend that we're definitely going to see something, because we're not definitely going to see something. We're not really guaranteed to see anything. Do I add to my short on the NQ here? Check this. Ooh, why is there a big red line? What? There we go. You got the long in this zone. Oh, what, down here, right? You're long around here, yeah? That was nice. So I did. This was just before I started the scream, because scream. Yeah, I did get along at 19638, but I closed it at 19641. So this was the first time we took out these lows. This was before any inversion and stuff, and then we came down lower. Right? Okay, I see what we're doing here. Bitcoin is a momentum-driven asset. Is it fair to say the momentum is waning? Yeah, but that doesn't mean it can't pick up again, does it? Like, right? It's normal. You expand and then you contract, and then you expand and then you contract, and then you expand and then you contract, and then you expand and then you contract. That's just typical of all markets. So it doesn't matter that momentum may be waning, because that is just contraction, which is absolutely normal. So what we have seen from Bitcoin consistently throughout the past year is we expand and then it contracts, and then it expands and then it contracts. And by contracting, it's like come back into balance. So either coming back into balance, so you have a move, you expand, and then you contract. Now that can be something like this if it's quite quick, like we saw yesterday, you come back into balance, or it can be like expand and then you contract for a long time, and this allows just support to build, and then you expand again and then you contract again, and then you allow support to build, and you do that kind of thing. So what we have been seeing is just continuously that kind of thing. And we had a big expansion, right? Huge. A move up of 92%. So that doubled in price without stalling once. And that took only, I mean, that's this year alone, right? that was the first January the 22nd, January the 23rd to March the 13th. Within 6 weeks, an asset doubled in price. A trillion-dollar asset doubled in price. So it is natural that we see, like, you cannot carry on that momentum for everything. At some point, you've got to then start to contract. And by that, what happened? Okay, you can look at where this low was. You started to test balance again, and you started to build support around this area. So naturally, what we probably see is that's a 100% increase in price, right? That's going to take time to cool off. If you have that much energy that's gone into the market, that energy needs to start to dissipate before it's ready to expand again. So do we just see this like that? Okay, a lot of energy. You like bounce a ball really, really hard, and it will boom, and that's basically what we've seen. Or like you launch your rocket, and then it's not going to come back down to earth, but maybe it like bounces, and then it just chills, and then it just chills, and then that energy starts to dissipate. The energy starts to just go away. And then once that energy has dissipated, we either see big expansion once again, or expansion doesn't have to mean up. It can be, yeah, we're ready to crash back down to earth right now. So as you see with anything, if SpaceX launches a rocket, it goes and then it goes like this, and then it arcs and it contracts, and then it starts to do this, maybe it orbits for a while, and then it really quickly re-enters, and then I go bang into a ball of flames and all that kind of stuff. So it's just energy. There's a lot of energy that went into the market, and that's going to take time just to chill. So yeah, I'm not concerned by a loss of momentum. Momentum will return. We just hope that it's going to be in that direction and not that direction. But we can't control that. We know the probabilities is it's in that direction because of what's happened previously, but we cannot control it. So fingers crossed, eh? Wee bit early to suggest we've topped. Would be very boring if that was the case. Yeah, and I mean, this brings me back to this chart. Maybe this chart. That was FMC. We did get the pump, right? We did get the pump, and this has been continuous. But what was the other chart I wanted to show? I remember. What did I do it on BLX? No. Oh, right. It was on total. It was on total. Jeez, it was on one of them. Oh, right. Yeah, of course, because I had the halving dates. So we had the halvings, and then we've got our tops. So it does suggest to us that we still have a long way to go, right? We still do have a long way to go within this particular cycle. Because from what we've seen on previous halvings, right, we add on the halving dates. Well, the halving dates are here on the chart already. So we had a halving there. We had a halving there. We have a halving here. Then it's generally been 77 weeks, 18 months to top out. Now we are left translated in this occasion because we've made a new all-time high before anything else. And actually, I think the market is like, you look at where we were on previous halvings, we're way, 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 like, make this log chart even. We're way above where we should be. However, look, you had a long, long, long drawn out consolidation on that first cycle that was from July 2016 all the way to December 2016 before we started to see that markup. So 6 months of sideways, right? 6 months of sideways previously. Then after the COVID, that was clearly a lot of craziness and once again, a lot of energy that had to mean revert and come back to normal again. But here, before it went crazy, you were looking at May 2020, and it didn't start breaking higher until November 2020. So again, 6 months, right? 6 months from there. So if we're looking at this, it could just be 6 months of sideways for the whole market. How many? Let's do months before we start like breaking out. So, well, obviously we know what 6 months from now is, right? It's going in towards the end of the year, or 6 months from the halving date. So clearly, just do your math. Why am I not even just doing my math? Takes you to October, right? And then we're looking at like a Q4, end of Q3, beginning of Q4 markup in price again. But there's every possibility we could just be sideways for the whole of summer. Yeah. Every possibility we could just be sideways for that. And that's like this is total 2. So this is actually excluding Bitcoin. This is the altcoin market a little bit more so, but Bitcoin helps with that because the momentum from Bitcoin does help the altcoins and blah, 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 blah. But I think we're a little bit of time away from seeing like, yeah, cool off is natural here. Can argue that the last bear cycle was too aggressive with FTX, so maybe that balances your halving argument. Yeah, the last cycle was aggressive in a number of ways because it started off with a black swan event, COVID, and it finished with a black swan event, FTX. So within this cycle, we've not had any of that. Like, it's just been boring, right? We didn't kick off. Well, we've had ETF, so we actually started with like a white swan. Yeah, the big bad black swan of COVID, which caused a big old crash, and then the markets had to do whatever they needed to do because of that. And on this occasion, I think really what kicked it off was ETF hype. And we've not really had anything else, have we? There's all good news this cycle. Of course, there was a lot of good news in the last cycle as well, but yeah. Okay. Was a golden goose. Yeah. We had the black swan, and now we've got the golden goose. I like that. That's cool. Right. My short's looking nice. Check this out. Ooh, I should have added to it. Dooby dooby dooby. Dooby 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 dooby. Bit. Money in the bank. I don't really have a target for this either. Let's just see how much more it wants to dump. Or do I just cash that? Cash that, move on, because it is just chopping around. I'm going to cash it. I can't be bothered. Done. $720. Cashed. Because if it does another thing like this, like you're taking lows, it could just, and then this could carry on until you get CPI, and then you're like boom, blown out the water at that stage. So gotta cash it, gotta take the profits. Just short again after fake pump tomorrow. If there's going to be a fake pump, it's going to be today. because there's news. If it dumps today, it's going to be a fake dump. I just hope it doesn't take out those lows again. This is Bitcoin. I'm saying it's kind of poopy here though. Kind of poopy. Where do I have? I thought I had. Oh, here we go. Yikes! Yeah, let's bounce. I was just checking on my long position. This sucks, man, because I've bearish bias for today at least on legacy markets. But if I've got a bearish bias on legacy markets, and Bitcoin's just fumbled the opportunity to give itself some space here. Like the thing with the NQ, like look at this, it can drop. It can drop like the biggest dump that it's had in years, basically, and still be really, 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 really bullish. So we could absolutely just completely collapse on the NASDAQ and on the ES, and it's still super bullish. But if that happens, this chart is going to just look awful. We're going to be at 62K. So Bitcoin had the opportunity yesterday and it's fumbled it. So we'll see how that goes. But it like when you look at how far above the all-time highs the NQ is, like it's never really been. Right, let's take off this. But you go on the daily and just look at the size of it. Look how far above those previous highs we are. So at some point, it's got to come crashing down. We just got to know when that may be. But it's insane, right? Insane. And there's a massive gap up today as well. Because even just during settlement, there was a massive gap up. I don't know if I'm going to do an Ethereum update today. So I normally record an Ethereum update, but I don't really have anything to say on Ethereum. There's nothing new going on here. Look, it's still the same thing. So I'm not going to bother with Ethereum today. Let's just chill on that. But I will upload, whilst I am here, I will upload that Bitcoin video. So in case anyone missed it, we can have a look at Bitcoin. Upload video. Where are we at? Can I reuse like an old thumbnail? 67. It's not looking good, is it? This chart. I think I got to do a bearish. So is right. So is terrible, yeah. Let's go for that one. Add thumbnail. What thumbnail do we want? I'm doing this. Haha! Bitcoin struggling at support. More volatility expected today. I'll find a thumbnail. Let's just go for that one. Not made for kids. Monetization. Submit rating. And is it there? Processing video. Can't make it live yet. Yeah, that'll be uploaded in just a moment. Look at the size of the gap that the NASDAQ's going to have to... It's just... Sorry, that isn't actually a gap, by the way. That's the change in contracts. But still, there is a massive, massive, massive gap below. But the gap is because of the change in contracts. Admittedly, NQ is the GOAT when it comes to intraday trading. I mean, yeah, but like you like yesterday was just one direction, and you couldn't really like Bitcoin. If you want to go like big swings, Bitcoin's still good. Bitcoin's still good. Yeah, NASDAQ's just mechanical. It's just mechanical. It's just very, very, very simple. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay, publish. Dow Jones looks dumpy. Well, of course it is. Like everything's at all-time highs, right? I guess Dow Jones is at all-time highs as well. Like I never check the Dow Jones, but surely if it's not at all-time highs, then what the hell is it doing? No, it's not. Yeah, I mean, of course it does. We'll see if these areas can hold for Bitcoin, but it is looking sketchy today. It is absolutely looking sketchy. Just holding that previous day open right now. Do we want to look at anything else? How have the rest of the charts been doing? Pepe, good opportunity because it's to compound any short positions there. We spoke about this yesterday. So, yeah, real nice opportunity to compound any shorts. Solana, I think, has given a good opportunity for shorts as well. Yeah. Are we going to die and go into the 30Ks? No. No, we're going to, like, worst case scenario, we just go back to like 64, 62, I think, and just stay in this range for longer, which is normal. We're not going to go, no, we're not going to go 40s. If we go 40s, it's bear market again. Like it's over, it's done. That was your bull market high. But yeah, there's absolutely no reason why we can't just this sideways, more sideways. Let's get rid of this one because that trade's finished. Finito. We had the move down. Yeah, you gotta remember we're still at the POC. We're just holding around here. Similar to 2019, the stock market kept making new high, Bitcoin started to fade. I mean, 2019 was only, that was that like rally because, yeah, I mean, of course it did because you weren't, this was back here, right? It was nowhere near ready to go again, Bitcoin at that stage. Now it is ready to go again. So this is like from back here. Okay, stock market was rallying and Bitcoin faded. Right, this was the only difference between here and here is this one had a COVID crash afterwards, whereas this one had an ETF hype afterwards. Sorry, these two sections. My head was in the way. Oh boy, previous day lows look very likely right now. Oh no. Should have held my short on the NASDAQ. Zero looks likely right now for a lot of alts. Man, sentiment, is it really that bad? I'm going to scalp long. Why not? Why not? Stop down here. It's like super low risk. Don't know where I can go. Somewhere up here. Oh, scalp. Try it. It's only going to give me a $65 loss if it gets stopped here, so why not? Here we go. 5 minute. How's this looking? Maybe just take it back up here somewhere. What's this going to give me? Here you go. New trade, just because I want to. Yay! Oh, it's going to stop me out. Is it? Is it? Is it? I'm already up on the daily. There's a little play one. Whereabouts? Woo! Oh, there we go. All good. You've been stopped. Bye-bye. No lunch. Or just a cheaper lunch. I mean, I was up 720. I'm now up like 660. So it's all cool. It's all cool. Meal deal from Tesco. Yeah, I mean, my bank account probably suggests that that's what I need to have right now. For my trading accounts. My trading account's caviar. My bank account is a £3 Tesco meal deal. Such is life. However, my trading account could be Tesco meal deal today as well if this does start really dumping. Because I did want a bit more of a sustained bounce than just the one we had yesterday. But we'll see. Gee, sold top in this bull market is in. Sold BTC, sold ETH, already double topped. Not tell me this first time is different and keep shooting for the moon. What do you think? I've been telling you Sol had been topped since the day it topped. I shorted Solana on the day it topped. Everyone thought I was a complete idiot. And then I shorted Solana again here, and I'm still short on Solana. I 100% agree with you. Solana has topped. Meme season has topped. I completely agree. Completely agree. You look at Solana, right? I was saying Solana. This is the thing. No one listens to me because they're all like, oh, it's so British. It's going to be a super cycle. No, it wasn't. It's not going to be a super cycle. Rejected off the 618, right? Took out highs. It's topped. Sold ETH, right? Took out the Ethereum highs. It's topped. Sold USDT. All right. Came up, swept local highs. It was never going to get to all-time high. It's topped. We're going $100. Solana has topped. I mean, it's going to run again as towards the end of the cycle. I'm fairly certain of it, but yeah, that's going to come later. That's maybe Q4 this year. Yeah, Q4 this year. Maybe Solana has another run. I don't know, but yeah, I completely agree. It's topped, and this is like I can't believe how much. Yeah, it was one of the. It was like when I shorted Pepe as well. So when Pepe topped, I mean, I got into a short a little bit early on this, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with the with this again. My positions are all messed up. But yeah, I think Pepe stopped, and I think memes. I'm fed up of them, sick of them. We got Luxury in the house. Welcome, Luxury. How's it going? Long time no speak. How are you feeling today? Already gave up on CRV on that last dump before this recent tiny recovery. Liquidated and never going back. What has happened to CRV? Has it crashed? Oh wow, yeah. Another new all-time low for CRV. BTC sweeping 66k by the look of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. Previous day lows look likely. Expecting this down move to continue for now. Yeah. Clean up my chart a little bit. I'm wondering if I should just let this short run for a year. No. Short on what? Or short on Solana, maybe, yeah. Oh, NQ. NASDAQ, NASDAQ, NASDAQ. Whoops. So depending whether you're going from CME open as Asia or traditional UTC open, we are coming down to take out Asia lows. On the NQ. Bitcoin's holding okay here. Like it is a big drop on the NQ that we've got, which we knew is, why didn't I just hold the short? Short from 19658. It's not even on the chart here because it's the changeover in contract. 658. We're up here. There goes Asia lows. UTAD on Apple. Up thrust after distribution. Maybe. Whoa, my stomach is rumbling. See how this holds. Bitcoin's just doing nothing. Nada, nada thing. Another one of those annoying situations yesterday where it's like, okay, cool. Had the short, like I had a couple of days ago. Had the short. That. Closed too early. Had the short yesterday here. Closed too early. $582. I don't know what to say anymore. I kind of feel like I've said everything that needs to be said on this stream. So we'll watch price action for a little bit. But in terms of the update, I think even my bias has changed slightly because at the time when we started the stream, we were still up here and everything was like we were still underway on that bounce. But yeah, now this is just looking terrible. So we'll watch and wait for these lows to go. If you like shorts, check out the S&P. I have a feeling it will dump and consolidate for the next 5 years. They want to dump on Gen Z to fund their lifestyles. Yeah, I mean, of course. Like, we're in a bubble, okay? It's just highly unlikely that bubble is topping now. It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense at all for the bubble to top now. Like, there's a lot more that can still be done, and then it's gonna be a big, bad, painful bear market that will come after that, right? It will be. It's inevitable. So you've got to know when to exit these markets, because you look at what the NQ is doing. You look at like Nvidia, for example. We're in an AI bubble right now that is 50 years, you said. Yeah, 50. No. No. But that's nonsense. But 5 years, maybe. We're in a bubble that's very similar to the dot-com bubble of like 2021. No, when was it? 2001 or whenever? Yeah, around here there was the dot-com bubble, and I think the AI bubble's similar. So I think we're going through this phase of like this basically, and how far along we are within this uh, is I'd imagine we're I don't know how can you can't speculate on this, but yes, we're in a bubble and it's gonna be a real nasty um crash globally when the bubble does top. Because you can't look at Nvidia like the state of this, right? Because this has had a 10-to-1 stock split, so it's completely messed up my charts. But I was in a long from when it was at $110, or I bought the stock at $110, which now is $11 because of the stock split. And even then, it's higher than now. Like, even without the stock split, I would have been profitable right now, which is just insane. So this is the trade. This is the trade I took on Nvidia. It's not really a trade. It's just like you just buy it because it was looking really good and hold it. But even now, it's just insane. It is just insane. But yeah, there's still more with this. We've not really gone into mania yet, so there is still the mania stage is still there. Like I wasn't around. I mean, I was alive, but I was like a little kid during the dot-com bubble. But you the amount of hype, like everybody in the entire world, like I remember everyone worked in IT, like literally everybody that existed in the entire world in 2000 was working in IT. Yeah. Um and that was like it was like the thing. And we're not at that stage now where like everybody in the entire world is on the AI is on the AI the AI thing. So there's still more mania to go. But yeah, when that bubble bursts, it will be painful. Crash will fully happen when housing finally collapses in a couple of years. What are you saying? Months old? What's going on? My old man discovered ChatGPT recently. The top is in. Yeah, I mean, maybe with this Apple update, now that that's going to be integrated into all of our phones, we're getting there. My God, sentiment today. You guys are. I've never seen. The chat is so bearish, which makes me really bullish. It's fine. The fact that everyone here is bearish right now, nah, we're not topped yet. We're not topped yet. We're just look. It doesn't matter. Who was saying that we're going to yearly open? No. Come on, you can't start talking about yearly open now. 42k. No, it's just chill out. We're at the top of the midpoint of this range at the moment. We're in this upper half of it. We're just gonna get a summer that's sideways, and you're all gonna get so bearish and so like fucking. You're gonna start thinking, oh, the whole world's gonna collapse. And it's this same thing that like everyone was just so bearish back here, and when there was the whole like Russia Ukraine thing, and oh, the world's going to end, and then what happens? You 100% move up in price, and like this move down to when we came down to like 38k and buying there, and everyone was just like, oh no, we're going to go down to 27, or we're going to go down here again. No, it's just gonna be sideways, and you're gonna get shaken out of the market by just sideways price action. And every time there's a move up, people are gonna FOMO into it, right? People are gonna FOMO into every high, because that's just what happens. Yesterday, people FOMO'd into it. You look at the delta when it was up at the highs, and like there was that massive. So go back over onto this, right? So yesterday, you had all this increase in open interest. All right. You put in that spike in the highs, and then people started to get bullish and think, oh, okay, we've reversed. This is it. Like, it's all bullish again. People not realizing that it was a news event, and then you're likely to come down and retrace that. It's just capitulation. That makes everyone so bearish again. But it's just that's the kind of environment we're in. You just got to trade day to day off of where the liquidity is, understand that these moves are unlikely to get continuation in either direction. It's the same as if you're bearish now. Like if you're bearish now, you're unlikely to get rewarded by that a lot. Like if you'd shorted here, this can just still keep going. All right. We are very likely going to take out those highs at some point within the next few days, because it was a news one. It was one-sided, the same as the CPI one yesterday. We've got PPI coming up today. Shorts are in control right now, but that does mean that that's also what can be squeezed right now. So and as you can see, these markets can turn in an instant. So man, it's just the NQ is so nasty today because of these. Look at the difference between them. Just need this open interest to start increasing on here. The Sato is right. He's short. Redemption arc. Right now, this is just following what the NQ is doing, but just not as much in either direction. The problem with this range for me is that, ooh, I just knocked my mic. So shorty, the problem with this range for me is that every long that goes well makes me feel like it's going to be the home run, then just round trip everything again. Yeah. I mean, I feel that because there's still like, I still get that a little bit. And I think sometimes with the altcoins, I'm not quick enough myself to take profit. it never, like with Bitcoin, it's fine. Like yesterday, there's a difference between swing trades and day trade scalp trades. Now isn't the time to be looking at swing trades at all, right? You cannot be looking to take a swing trade either long or short when you're right in the middle of the range, like slap bang right in the center of this range. It's the point of control. And then if you're going from low to high again here, as I keep explaining, we're right there. You're in the middle. You're at the most balanced, the most crowded point of this entire range. So you've got to wait for there to be some kind of space. Now, for myself, like I do have, these are the times where you look at those swing trades and then, yeah, okay, that can be the home run. And if you're long from down here, you can still just be patient on that, which is the same as what I've been. Like I compounded again on that jump that we had the other day, but you can still be patient on that. Outside of that, if you've got something that is a home run, so this has the potential to be that 38k long was, if you've got something that's like that, then you just hold on to it. Don't like mess about with it too much, just chill. But those trades don't come along often. But the nice thing about having something like that is it then means you can just trade the market completely neutrally, like after that. So when we got this move up yesterday, I took the short position. And I'm cool with that because I know that, okay, right, this could be really bullish and we could be like blasting off towards new highs here if we get another bullish FOMC and all of that kind of thing. But knowing that the probability is that you come back down and you take out when there is something like this, when you do have that one-sided price action, that incomplete auction that happens within the chart, and it just goes bang straight up, you create that imbalance, you create those single prints, the market is going to go and seek to recover that. Then you can just be really chill and be like, okay, cool, I'm just going to look for shorts. And when you look at this, actually, like the opportunity to have taken a short here yesterday was really quite clear because you did show some weakness when it had that move above weekly open. It didn't come and take out those highs. And then when you had that retrace, what did it do? It just took out an internal high here. Whoops, wrong thing. But you take out those internal highs, close back below. Okay, it didn't quite close back below here, but you have that kind of range that starts to form. You come into an area in which you could naturally look for shorts, and then it starts to break down after that. We got Cake Mr. ICT, and then obviously Blue Raincoat anti ICT. Look, right now we're not in. Like, I don't know what MMXM is. I couldn't tell you what that is. But right now we're like, obviously we're not in like a buy or a sell phase. Like, it's just depends what time frame you look at. You look on the higher time frames, we're obviously buying, right? Right now, here, quite clearly we're selling. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Just trade the fucking trend. That's all you got to do. Trade the trend. Trend here, down. Trend here, up. BTC bounce from weekly gap, I think, not at the charts now. Yeah, I mean, we're literally just chopping around monthly open, previous day open. We got previous day lows just a little bit lower. Chat is funny today. The amount of like, this is, everyone was so chill. Whoa. Dropped my thing on my keyboard. Yeah. Everything about, you know, I'm not going to get involved. Oh, Cake's using his mob privileges. Cake's got angry. I quite enjoyed watching that. I mean, I've done the important part of my stream anyway. What we like on the viewers, I think we're probably like crashing on viewers. Everyone hit the likes and let's get back. Let's get back into some kind of normality again here, and start to look at things a bit more seriously. GME cooked. Probably. There was some FUD going around with GME, wasn't there? That I always say, what's his name? Not Hello Kitty. Roaring Kitty sold his shares. I don't know if that's true or not, but and he's still in profit, so fair enough. Because wasn't it back here? Oh no! Oh no, it wasn't. When did he? It was here, wasn't it? Because it was last week that he did the stream. So did he buy at like $30 or did he? I've not really been following it. I don't know if he bought around $30 or if he bought around $20. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, very different market to what it was last time he was around. It's slow. Okay, right. We've got something here on the NQ. Let's throw this back on again. Last time you had people getting stimulus checks. I mean, yeah, there was that, but I think there was also, it's just, even if people didn't get stimulus checks, the market would still have just melted up like crazy last time. I think the stimulus checks probably helped something like GME because it didn't take a lot of that much capital to start moving that chart because it's just a penny stock event essentially. Okay, so NASDAQ's looking much better all of a sudden. So do we get a bit of a recovery from Bitcoin now? It's just very like PPI day. It was kind of similar yesterday morning, where we were just sideways until we got news. So more of the same. But yeah, you're looking at a nice bounce here on the NQ. Decent low. You'd want to see some kind of pullback. Like if it can pull back here, target along. Just very clear invalidation now. Bitcoin is a little bit more tricky because we still haven't taken out previous day lows, but then this is so similar to what happened yesterday, right? Where it was just consolidating. And we were thinking that we could come down and take this low in order to get a bounce, but it just stayed sideways, stayed sideways, stayed sideways. It got a bit of a move up as we went into CPI as the anticipation for that grew. And then bang, off we go. So similar situation, difficult to trade. BTC better hold 66.5. Yeah, better. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to see it lose that. I mean, that was a low that we took the previous low, right? We took a couple more with, well, one more with it, but that's the low that's a good reference right now. Yeah, you don't want to see it coming back down there again if we are going to be going to new highs. That would be bad. I want to check. Just see if there's anything locally to go off of. Same thing though. I mean, when you just look at the delta here, is spot's still fine. Spot's still fine. I don't think we're looking at this being a super bearish today. Just got to get through this bit of weirdness. Doge PA similar to its top in May 2021 starts bouncing on the weekly 8 to 12 EMA. Then big bounce on for 30 EMA, last distribution and lights out. I mean, you can't compare. This always makes me laugh. Like, I know there's fractals within everything, but you cannot compare a market. So May 2021. This is a distribution that took place after like the biggest rally in its history. Yeah. When Elon Musk was shilling it, when the whole world was talking about it, and when it was in the middle of that, there was literally everything was going on, like everything was topping out, and you had just so much hype within the markets, and you would go outside and everyone would be talking about Dogecoin and all of this. Now it's crickets. Like, you can't compare. how is it similar? I mean, if anything, it's like it could be this, right? It's just markets do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. But you've got to understand the phase of where it is. Like, okay, if Doge just topped here, then it means it's going to like minus dollars. Yeah, you can't be. It just cannot compare the two. Like, what this is, okay, you've gone through a accumulation or a bear market that was from May 2022 all the way to March 2024, 2 years of price going sideways. And then you're getting bearish 2 months after you've just broken out from a 2-year accumulation. No, you can't, like, it's just no. That does not compute. There's nowhere for it to go if it goes lower. It means it's just worthless. And look, it might happen. You might come back to this stream and say, like, I told you so. But no. Let's go on to log and look at the last time that it broke out of a 2-year long accumulation was like back here, right? December, January 2021. And it had a lot more upside. Doge is going to be Doge. I'm willing to bet one entire Dogecoin that it goes to $1 before it goes back to 10 cents. And oh, no, it's one Dogecoin. Yeah, I'm going to bet one Doge that we go to $1 before we go to 10 cents. And we're at 14 cents. That's how bullish. That's a ridiculous statement to make. I'd have to let me say 7 cents. We're not going to go to 7 cents. We're at 14 cents now. I think we're more likely to see an increase of 500% that takes us to $1 than we are to see a decrease of 50%. So you might win 7 cents. I'll take anyone, any single one of you watching this stream. DM me. Let's make a bet. One Dogecoin. We go to $1 before we go to 7 cents. Who wants it? I want to long this again because I don't think we're going any lower than this. Do I risk more dollars on this? It's so clear where we must focus. We must all focus on Doge. Once Doge pumps, there will be liquidity to pump everything. That is very true. Everybody loves Dogecoin. Everybody loves Dogecoin. If Doge was to pump, and if it was to get to like 42 cents or to $1 or to wherever it might go, that will bring back in floods of people because there's millions of people out there right now who probably hold Doge from the previous market cycle in the same way that they may still be holding GME, and they'll all flood back into crypto if that pumps. I mean, more so than Bitcoin. Doge will have a much bigger effect on crypto as a whole than Ethereum or Bitcoin will at bringing back in retail money, bringing back in new money. Because the people that were around in the last cycle, that was our GME. Yeah, that was the one that really went for it. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. All you need to do is when this starts moving, that's when the people come back. Until that point, Bitcoin's not going to bring people back into the market. It just isn't. Like, the entire world's priced out, okay, of Bitcoin, and no one's going to get rich buying Bitcoin anymore. Ethereum, no one really cares about Ethereum. Everyone who is in the market thinks Vitalik's weird. And okay, there's Solana and stuff as well that's going on now, but that's a different type of participant. With the market as we know it, with like having a big like cycle or whatever, Doge is the one that's going to kick that off for sure. It's just you can't hate it. You cannot hate it, which is why, like, no matter what happens, I don't really hold alts long term. But I've said this for ages, and I was saying it all the way throughout 2022 and 2023. If I make profits in my trading, I just put part of it into Dogecoin. Like, every single time, I'm just gradually accumulating, just consistently. And it's the one token that I do that for. I don't do it with Bitcoin. I don't really hold Bitcoin. I don't really hold Ethereum. I have it there as utility because by holding those tokens, it allows me to trade, and by holding Ethereum, it allows me to do DeFi stuff. But I don't accumulate it. I don't care for the price of it. I trade it. But Dogecoin is one that I do accumulate. The only one. So the only one that's around from other cycles. I still hold spot positions in other stuff, but yeah. Oh dear. It's also very sideways today. I might. So go to Doge BTC and Doge ETH, and you clearly see that Doge gives 1 month pump, and that's it. Jeez. Is Caslate one of the rare hype coins I never made bank on? Yeah, I mean, you're not Cas, great to trade it, but I mean, it's 100x up from when I bought it. So what more can you make from it? You're not going to make 100x. You're not going to make 10x from where it is now. So yeah, Cas is late if you're looking for something to buy on spot. You got to look for something early. And that is that. Where's my? There you go. NQ just take lows again. No, it didn't. Double bottom. Double bum bum. Not even a trade to take here. As we come down here. You got the ENS, Dogillionaire.eth. Nice. That's a good ENS to have. Do you have stack spot or just short-term trades? So yeah, I do. I do have stacks spot and I do have a trade in stacks. The stacks is one of those that is. Go to that. Yeah, so it's a bit of both. So I have these trades going on, but then I do like stacks as a token. It's one of those few altcoins that I like. Audi, dearie me. Tried this on Audi as well, but this was compounding, by the way, compounding along that's already existing. So there's no real stopping place, shit like that. But yeah, there's some stuff out there that's bleeding lower than it was. Oof. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that's lower than it was when we had the big capitulation. It's no wonder people are bearish today. Arkham looks nice. Might go long Arkham. Arkham. Just like low time frame. See if it's got anything. I'll get out of this before we go and take those lows. Some kind of potential here. It's just like what we're seeing on the 30-minute, similar to what we saw on the 4 hours. But even as just a little scalp trade here, I mean, I'm kind of tempted on Arkham just to try a little scalp. I've never done like a very low time frame trade on this. Do it as like see if we can make a little bit from it. Because this has been on my watch list as something that I would like to start getting into a trade on. And I haven't done so yet. So yeah, long. I mean, at this stage, if we do, like, I'm not going to give this much space. Because if things start to collapse, like take profit up here, like get a 1-to-1 take profit, see if it can come up and take out these equal highs. Sounds like you should get on Rollbit and gamble. Yeah, I mean when I do some of these like little stream trades that are just a bit of let's see, um, it's a let's see kind of thing, something to do. And what the hell is this thing doing? 1000x. Yeah, see, I 100% would get wrecked on that. I mean, I can go to 100x on Woo. NQES divergence. What did ES take lows? Take liquidity? It did. And you do is that Wednesday 12th of June the low that NQ's currently at, or is it just this 20? So are we at 2300 or are we at 1900 on these? 2300. Okay, so you've got like double divergence there. So ES, fuck this indicator thing, man. Why is this weird? So ES is way below that 2300 open, like daily open, CME open low. NQ hasn't taken it. And now we're getting a bounce. And then locally, you've got the same thing going on. So you got NQ lows here to here. And NASDAQ, okay, it did on that one, on that contract. This is the problem. It took it on the new contract. It didn't take it on the old contract. So it took it on the September, but not on the June contract. But we're still trading June contract. So Lucifer, genuine non-troll question. But how do you get exactly the right leverage on Woo? Every trade I take ends up not being the chosen leverage and falls under this accelerated leverage thing. Why? So on Woo, I essentially you're like cross as default. Yeah. So the whole platform is on cross. I'm gonna take some profit here. Cool. I did get a little long within that. Yeah, the whole platform is on cross, and it uses all of your assets as collateral. So if you have like if you're holding spot Bitcoin, for example, if you're holding spot Woo tokens, which I myself do for staking it, you're also like your collateral and the amount of margin and the amount of leverage you can be using on that changes as the value of your basket of assets changes as well. So you do have to be careful when you're calculating risk because your risk isn't static on that exchange. Your risk is also fairly fluid as the market moves. So if the market's dumping, you have less margin to play with. So even if you're short, and this is a weird thing, you can be like hedged short, but still add up it costing. Like, okay, you're making profit on that, but if your margin's lowering, so you can't. If the whole market collapses more than what your short collapses from, then you can end up going into like your leverage on that trade can increase. Like you're obviously not making a loss, but the leverage that's given on that trade can increase, even though you're in profit. Does that make sense? Maybe. So yeah, you just gotta understand how to manage risk when you're trading like that. Why does that happen on isolated? I don't know. I don't trade isolated. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. But it still may be because you're still using your whole collateral. So although you're on isolated leverage, that can change because what you're using as collateral is still fluid. You're not just trading an inverse contract, or you're not just trading a USDT pair contract. You're trading a contract that's based off of the whole value of your portfolio at that time. So you can be on 10x isolated leverage, but if your margin, if the total value of your account drops, that could then go to like, it could essentially become like a 12x isolated margin, maybe. It will be something to do with that. If you're confused about it, maybe like, yeah, I don't know the real life answer for it. But it's along those lines. If you want a more simple rating process, then check Discord message. Yeah, if you just want to be trading like futures that have, so like USDT collateralized futures or something like that, Woo works a little bit different. I'd recommend like trade something like Blowfin. Little shill. So you can check out the links in the description below, of course. And yeah, on Blowfin is non KYC. You can just trade it real simple against the USDT that you have as collateral and do it that way. That might be the way if you're unable to, if you're used to like the Bybit style of trading and you're unable to trade on Bybit anymore, which is like myself, then I think Blowfin's the exchange to use because it's the closest we can have to it. It's got a real solid API. You don't need to KYC. It's available to anyone, no matter where you are. And that is the exchange that I'm actually using a little bit more of at the moment for like day trading type of things. So like I'm like, this is how bullish I am on stacks because I've also got a long on, I've got like a Blowfin long on stacks as well. Why is this image not copying? There we go. And yeah, Blowfin's really nice for that kind of thing. Who else is in here? How many viewers we got? I will wrap this up fairly soon. But yeah, just before we go, if you've enjoyed the stream, I know we've been a bit more of a chit chat one. Yesterday was much more to discuss. Here we're just kind of observing a load of nothingness and maybe laughing a little bit at people who are capitulating right now, thinking the full market's over. It's that kind of day. Sentiment's down. People are getting wrecked from chasing this market around, and people are getting overly bearish for very little reason. Even if we come down 63, 64K, I think it's fine. But if you have found this to be useful and you've found some interesting stuff in here, then please do hit the like button. Also, if you are new to the channel, go and check out tauruscrypto.com. From that, okay, of course, you can go and check out tauruscrypto.com. And if you are interested in joining our crew, which is our trading community, educational community. So if you want to learn about the way that we trade these markets, you want to trade alongside us. So you can see over here, I am always sharing trades that I have taken, and I alert everybody at that, basically that very moment. So if you're looking for like some signals, then there are the signals often, generally taken on like 4 hour time frame and stuff. So they're not ones that you have to be too crazy on. We've got other coaches always sharing their trades and everything here as well. We've got the trading chat that is always very, very active. Lots going on over there. Legacy market channels, they have been cooking as well this morning. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, there was a trading room this morning that was NASDAQ focused, trading the legacy markets, trading the NASDAQ and the ES. Yeah, you can check out all of the journals and what people have been doing over there. You can see people making nice money being made. And then, of course, we've got our whole educational content section where you can check out anything you want to learn is available that you can learn. You can learn stuff and you can trade alongside us. So do go check out torscripted.com and you can go and check that out as well. Yeah, we've had a whole morning of just nothing really happening. But it was nice to catch up with everyone. Nice to have a little chit chat. I enjoy these morning streams because they are generally during a little bit of downtime within the market. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we do have news coming out fairly soon. Yeah, there is news coming out very, very soon. So be aware that is going to cause some volatility. So trade safe. Be chill. Knight, you're in the crew in 2022, considering coming back. Started trading with Luke in 2021. Yeah, come back, man. Come back. You can see all the changes we've made. And yeah, you can let us know what you think about how everything has improved and what we're doing over there now. It would be great to see you in there again. But on that note, I am going to wrap this up because there's nothing else happening. And of course, typical, when I stop streaming, we'll probably get some movement, but that's just the way things go. So have a great day. Trade safe. An hour to go until we're going to see some volatility. So yeah, see you in the next one. I'll be back again tomorrow morning and we'll catch up again then. Cheers, guys.